couple seconds. I'm going to apologize ahead of time if you hear my dog. She's being a little rambunctious in the background here.
If your dog starts, my dog's gonna start.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Okay, so we are streaming live on YouTube and we are officially recording.
Okay, the meeting's open. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes of the last two meetings?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I'll make a motion that we accept February 18 minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just
I heard
said,
Jim and
I had
Jim.
2 changes that I sent to Charlie, but it wasn't anything. It was just spelling, so last name spelling, that's all.
Oh, we don't discount anything for spelling.
Okay, the last meeting, Lisa, what date was that? February what?
No, we actually had our last meeting last week.
Okay, so that was March, what
March
was the
8th.
date on that?
It was March 8th.
Okay, 8th, okay, I have read everything over. I'll move that we accept the minutes from our March 8th meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Okay, continued hearings, Strawberry Fields.
We were asked to take the agenda out of order because Marty is going to be in the meeting at 8 instead of 7 tonight. When it was requested to be continued, she had another meeting, but hopefully that'll work out okay and we can take it out of order. So I think
Okay.
maybe
Does that need
we
a
could-
motion to move it to 8 o'clock?
Yeah,
I need a
Okay, I
second.
move that we continue the hearing or move it to 8 PM tonight.
you have to just do the roll call, so you each have to agree.
Oh, again.
I
Okay,
need
well, I moved it, so Bill, call on each of us to approve it.
Right. I need a second on the motion.
Second.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
No,
Well-
Bill, you have to say, Jim, do you approve, and each person, you have to address each person, commissioner.
Oh, boy, okay. Jim Digits, do you approve?
Yes, yes,
Jim Souza,
Yes.
Charlie Mello.
Yes.
Is
Aye.
Jack Crawford with us yet?
No,
No.
Okay, and I also approve. Okay, so we've moved Strawberry Fields to 8 o'clock. All right. Next on the agenda, new hearings, long-built homes, notice of intent for development of Hunters Hill subdivision.
is
Where
there
are
someone
they?
there? Okay,
Is this Mr. Watson?
Yes, right here. I'm
Okay,
Evan Watson with W Engineering. With me is Lee Casagnetti from Long Build Homes.
all right. You got the floor.
Yeah, good evening. I'm going to start, if you don't mind. I represent Long Built Homes. Our interest in the property is we're under contract to purchase the property, subject to updating and renewing permits that have been stale while the project has been lying fallow for a number of years. And in this particular instance, we had previously modified the planning board permit and approval to eliminate the golf course. And other than the elimination of the golf course, the project is exactly identical. What was going to be golf course is simply now going to be open space. And every other aspect of the project is exactly the same as when it was originally approved by the Conservation Commission. Our seller had allowed the previous order of conditions to lapse. And so we filed this notice of intent with the hope that of continuing the project essentially under the original order of conditions. But since it can't, by regulation, can't be extended, we were essentially hoping that this notice of intent would be treated more as a renewal rather than an extension by simply reissuing the same order of conditions that was originally in place.
Okay, I have a question for you, since,
Jim, I'd like him to identify himself. I didn't get his name. I'm sorry. Cut in on you.
Sure, it's Lee Castignetti,
Lee,
C-A-S-L-E-E,
Lee.
C-A-S as in Sam, T-I-G-N-E-T-T-I.
I got you.
All right, and
Carry on.
I'm counsel for
okay,
Long-Built
okay,
Home.
Lee, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You know, certainly it sounds, like it's going to be a go with the project when it finally gets there. But when was the project last flagged by, I think it was by Brendan Fanoff? When was that flagged?
I don't know. Evan, can you?
Yeah, sure. I know it was last flagged. The original flagging was done in 2004. I'm unaware of any subsequent flagging that's been done since then.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
Brandon
have
may
not
have looked at the site.
you have not reflagged it or had it done then?
So I had gone out and done some reflagging to some portions of it, but we wanted to come before the board and get some input before we did.
Okay, well,
finalize
certainly you're
that
going to
decision.
have to reflag it.
Well,
Because-
let's back up a little bit. Evan, you're not a biologist or a botanist, correct, right? I'd like to see have a biologist look at the site again. And we'd like an updated report. We have, our own bylaws now with we cover isolated wetlands. Stormwater regulations are now in place. I mean, things have changed. And I know I already did tell you that I'd like to see it flagged. But I mean, reflagged and looked at closely now, not, 20 years ago.
Good
Okay,
idea.
so that's going to be the first thing on the agenda then for you, Lee, is to get it reflagged by a botanist to see where lines may have altered in that 20-year time span. And if so, maybe they're going to adjust your plan a little bit, maybe not. We don't know. But we would want to find out.
Okay.
So, Chairman, if I may, we would continue on. I have, I can put some things up on the screen if I could share my screen, and I could
Sure.
show the commission more or less the location, some of the history of the site, and how the site stands today.
Absolutely.
Guys, just keep in mind, we don't have the exact existing conditions because there may be other isolated and other BVW that aren't exactly shown on the plan. But yeah, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I'll step you through. So I might need permission from the host to share my screen.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Let
No,
me-
Cable
technically,
has
somebody
to-
needs to click the button for me.
Yep, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to find
No
it.
problem.
I'm gonna make you a co-host. That should allow you the ability.
I promise I won't kick anybody out.
Please don't. Did it come through? Oh, perfect.
Yeah, can
There we go.
Yeah, here it comes.
you see the plan on my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, so I'll just kind of step back a little bit. I've put the plan into Google Earth here so we can see where in the town of Dayton this is for those who haven't aren't familiar with the site, I see a lot of people here probably are familiar with this project back when it was permitted. So it's in
Oh,
the
I
southern
think we're,
portion.
I think we're
of-
all familiar with the site.
Yep.
No,
very good.
let him review it though. Let him bring us up because it's been quite a few years since we've been down there. So
Yeah,
I would like to see him, bring it up and it's off of William Street, correct?
That's right. So we have Williams Street on this side. There is an access from Williams, and then the actual vehicle access is off of Anderson Drive. There's two roads, Hunter Hill Drive and Clubhouse Drive, or actually I think it's Miranda Drive. From this side, there's a utility access, so the water service comes in from Williams Street and runs all the way down through the development. If I could get back to my figure here. So we, before we've come to you, we actually met with MIPA to make sure that we were squared away with them. They were happy, and then we met with the DEP to discuss the sewage treatment. So we kind of got through those hurdles, so that's why we're bringing it to you at this point. And so I've prepared this figure to help us understand what's been done and what's not been done. So the green areas here, we have 34 homes and everything that's associated with them. The roadway, the pavement, the utilities, and all the detention or all the drainage system. So we have 2 detention basins that is constructed, and we have 1 outlet with no detention basin that kicks out over here. And then all the roads have more or less been roughed in. The trees have been cleared for the remainder of the site, as well as the areas for some of the drainage. More or less been grown in, but it's not freshly cleared anymore. And then the other thing that's been constructed is the Title V septic system. So part of our permit with our special permit is that we were allowed to do, or that the proponent at the time could do 34 homes on a Title V septic system. To go beyond that 34 homes, they would have to complete a groundwater discharge permit, and that's what we have here. So that would basically involve upgrading the Title V septic system to a groundwater discharge permit style system that has associated treatment system on it as well. We show here a proposed community center. That was what was proposed when this was a golf course. Now you see all these open space areas here. That was proposed to be all golf course.
But I can't hear anything.
Oh. And so Lee has actually modified the special permit to not require the golf course anymore. So this community center will need to be redesigned, and we would file a separate permit for that. The plans that we submitted with our application were the plans that were approved with the original order of conditions, and it's the intent of the applicant not to basically do this plan. Like Lee said, it was more or less hopefully to refresh. There has been some activity out there. If I go back to my Google Earth, see back in...
I have no sound. I don't know why I have no sound.
Oh, can everybody else hear me
Doing me
okay?
nothing.
I can hear you.
Okay. There's
I can
one
hear.
person who said they can't hear me.
Bill can hear them. Can
Okay.
you hear Jim?
I can hear.
I can,
Okay. There might be
Okay.
some other person on the line who is asking. So you can see here, this was back in 2005 when the project more or less started. They cut in the golf course, they cut in the roads, and they've done some work. They had a processing area here. So in order to accomplish, the road, they've actually lowered some of the grade in the roadway to subgrade, and they've installed the water infrastructure, the sewer infrastructure, and the electric infrastructure. So everything that you see with the, let me just bring this up tight. Okay. All these roadways have infrastructure in them right now. So we were a little concerned when it came time to look at wetland resource areas, because again, we have areas that have been lowered to subgrade. There might be some standing water there because it's been modified, and we were worried that those areas might be considered wetland resource areas. But then again, we have an area that has utilities and infrastructure installed in it. So before we went ahead and did any more work reflagging wetlands, we wanted to have an understanding of what it is that we're looking to do here. The other thing that we've done is we prepared a new filing. So we filled out the notice of intent, WPA Form 3. And with that, we had to do the stormwater report. So we wrote a new stormwater report, essentially taking the design and demonstrating that it meets the 10 stormwater regulations. When it was permitted back in 2004, there was 8 stormwater standards in the policy. Since then, they've added 2 standards, essentially having a long-term pollution control plan and an illicit discharge statement. And I've added that to this plan as well.
Okay, very good.
Yep. So hopefully
Okay.
that gets everybody back to speed in their memory there.
All right, thank you.
Please stay up and
You know, with all this work that has been done, that is proposed to do, I mean, it is without a doubt that you are going to have to get a biologist to reflag. Then what we're going to want to do is have you put money into the G account, and we are going to inspect and your plan and your lines to either assist you, modify you, or do something that is going to get this project going right. You know, I'm not saying it can't go right now, but we want to make sure of that. Okay, I have another comment or a question for you. Have you been to the water department? And because you've got, how many houses you wanted to go up?
Yeah, 140 total, so it's 106 new.
Because right now there's a moratorium on projects.
Yeah, Lee and I did meet with the water department. I don't know, Lee, maybe you could provide the insight of the results of that meeting.
Yeah. You're on the shared screen. Am I still, can I be heard?
Oh, yeah, I can. How's that? I took the share off.
Sorry. Can all the members, all the commissioners hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, we were made aware very early. As I said, we needed to, we had to renew and refresh and update and modify all of the permits that were required. And of course, no in Dayton relative to availability of connections to public water, to the municipal water system. We had gone to the water department, and the water department had confirmed that the 140 lots in Hunters Hill had been reserved many years ago, and that they were set aside and kept under their reserved group of lots ever since.
Okay, no, I just say that because I was down there the other day, and they're talking on very tight, but if it's been reserved
Yep.
for you, I just brought it up as something to be helpful to you.
I listen, I fully appreciate where you're coming from, and but just so you know, they've actually issued a will serve letter consistent with that reservation of the 140 lots for this development.
Okay, you're fortunate.
Very, very much so. Yes. Thank you.
Evan, I
Okay.
have a question for you. If you could just let the commission know where you stand with stormwater, the stormwater committee right now. And also there's supposed to be an attachment B and C in that stormwater report, but I didn't see one. So if you could send that to me too.
Okay, I'm just taking a note here one moment. So we have prepared a local stormwater permit. When I wrote the stormwater report, I also added a section to demonstrate how we would comply with the standards in the stormwater bylaw, and we gave a copy to the commission, and we had a brief meeting with them to discuss the fee. So we have and understand what the fee would be, but we didn't file it yet because we wanted to get a feel from this commission as to where we wanted to go, what type of information we needed to do. Because if we needed to do some modifications to the design, then we would do that. So we're in accordance with that stormwater permit before we paid the fee to actually complete our filing.
Okay, but you do need to reflag.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in order for you to really be able to figure out the feasibility of it, you have to know exactly, the existing conditions. And as you stated, there were parts of the land that had been cleared. Hopefully it won't affect you guys that much, but it may, and in stormwater design, it may as well.
Yeah, there's definitely been some areas that are affected by the clearing and by some of the work that was done under that order of conditions. I'm sure you've all gone to construction sites before, and there's a period of time where there's the existing conditions, and then you get to the proposed conditions, and that time period in between is usually a pretty messy, wet area. So when you stop in the middle of that, then those areas remain, and we end up with some trouble spots for sure. So you reflag everything. We'll have to talk about some of those areas because I'm concerned that there's even some areas of the road that have infrastructure installed that may be considered a wetland, and it's like to discuss that with the commission because again,
Yeah.
is the
So
wetland gravel with water pipes in it, or is it not?
I have a question. Is the stormwater review going to be done by the Stormwater Commission or by the Conservation Commission?
It's concurrently. So it's concurrently. So if we have a consultant reviewing it, then they'll obviously be reviewing it for stormwater as well. And that'll help them along when they have, when they actually file with the stormwater committee. But yeah, it's
But the
sometimes
filing, they filed a notice of intent with us. And
right,
the stormwater
They-
is part of the filing.
right,
That's okay.
right. But
So there's.
they
review
have
by
to
the
file with, we have a local bylaw that the Conservation Commission doesn't have jurisdiction over, the Stormwater Committee does.
then
Am
why
I
are they
correct?
filing with-
I mean, maybe some of the other commissioners will correct me on that, but that's my understanding.
That's right, Lisa.
Okay. We have a say because we attend the meetings. Bill is a member and I attend the meetings.
Why isn't that holding true for Strawberry Fields?
You have to ask Marty that question. I wasn't around when they filed that. And is it because it's a 40B? They don't need, I would think they'd need to still meet the stormwater standards. So it sounds like in Marty's letter, they do.
If there's if they're a 40B project, they would be exempt from local bylaws, but they would still need to meet the stormwater standards
Right.
from the state. Same standards that we have. And
Yeah.
the Dayton bylaw closely matches the DEP stormwater regulations. It's just overseen by a separate board, whereas the DEP stormwater regulations are overseen. A few things that I actually missed, I just thought it was important to bring up. If we're at a little pause here. I just wrote down a few numbers about the open space, just to remind everybody about, we're doing 140 lots here, but it's on 317 acres. Gives about 0.4 units per acre. And then the actual land that's dedicated to open space is 242 acres. So
How many again?
76%.
242 acres.
240.
Yeah, 242 acres of open space.
So when you say open space, can you just elaborate on it? Like, what's the intent? Is it the homeowners association that's going to maintain, or how's that?
So initially, it was planned on being a golf course. So there was, I think, 9-hole golf course all throughout here that was going to be maintained by the homeowners association, operated by a golf course company, and the mix. So that's been removed, and so now the open space will be managed by the homeowners association. And if we basically put it to the planning board that if they were interested in finding a golf course company or whatnot, then they could go and permit a golf course or other open space use. But the initial intent is to essentially leave the open space. You see there are some existing trails that go out to, there's a horse farm here. I'm sure they use the trails now. Gets into the electric power easement is in the open space. And then the drainage ponds are in the open space. So yeah, and then I think we were working with some of the homeowners. Lee's been actually doing a good job meeting with the homeowners that are there now and asking them what kind of amenities they'd like in the open space. So for right now, we have planned a community center, with a couple activities around it, potentially a swimming pool and maybe some activities. We're going to provide an area for RV and boat storage, probably associated with the Title V area or the sewer system area. And then maybe like a smaller walking trail, something that doesn't lead you out into the middle of nowhere, but something where you could actually go for a walk in nature around the loop and enjoy some nature, or, there's plenty of road to go for a walk around here. So, but yeah, the short answer to your question is it would be a homeowners association that would own and maintain the open space.
Yeah, if I could interject for just a moment, the maybe associated with that trail is not a maybe. There will be a trail system that is a circular trail system that starts and ends through that area that Evan was pointing out of the community center. So that will be a feature in that open space. But aside from that, the open space is intended to remain entirely passive.
Oh, good. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Holly, Jim, Jack? Anybody have any questions?
No, except maybe to reiterate what we want them to do, and part of that is to start a G account. Okay,
It's
so
50
you're
53,
gonna
G.
have to reflag, we know that. And then Charlie, what is your thoughts on the amount for a G account? I got the right.
I haven't given it any thought, actually, but you're going to insist that they hire a botanist, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. $5,000.
$5,000. Yeah, that would be a starting point.
Maybe a start and ending point, who knows?
Okay,
We have a vote?
Somebody make a motion, please.
okay. Wait, what is the official name of the G account?
The 53G account.
53G, okay.
Consultant's account.
Okay, I move that we require that they reflag with a botanist and that a 53G account be opened with the sum of $5,000.
I'll check at that.
All in favor?
Okay,
Jim,
so we're gonna do it by individuals again.
that's what I said. Jim,
Yes,
that's you. Okay, Jim Souza.
Yes.
Okay, Charlie Mello.
Aye.
Okay, aye. All right, and I agree also.
And might have a butters there that might want to say something, ask some questions, you know. Are there any butters in the audience that want to talk?
I'd like to.
Okay, Kevin Perry.
Yes, I'm not in a butter. I live on.
Let's have your
30
name, please.
My name is Kevin Perry. I
Kevin
live
Perry.
on- Yes, sir. I live on 3075 Clubhouse Drive. I'm one of the 5 members that we formed for our association through this, working with Longbuilt and Lee. They've been very cooperative and things have been going very well. When we had to change from the golf course and change gears and go in front of the planning board, we all sat down as a committee and we took everyone that's in the development into consideration and had everybody have an active role in what amenities we would like to see if we were to, allow the golf course to be removed. And everybody was on board. We have signed paperwork showing that everybody was on board. As a committee, as we stand today, we're in no different position. We're still on board. We would be thrilled to see Longbuilt take over this development because we don't want to see it 10 years from now as an undevelopment. We live here, we pay taxes. I'm a Dayton resident. I am on a board in town and I really love the town. This development I'd like to see move forward. Longbuilt has no reservation on what they need to do to meet the requirements of the town. They're very willing to do what's needed to be done. But as residents of this development, it's really important for us to see somebody take it over that's going to be able to complete it to its fullest and play an active role in this town. And I think the benefit to the town is a lot more lots are built on and there's a lot more revenue coming into the town. And that's the benefits I see. But you have other members of the committee on here tonight, I think would agree with me that really our intent is just to see this developed and completed in that we don't have problems 5 or 10 years down the road because our septics aren't working, because the station wasn't built. That's going to be able to manage that. So I don't want to get long-winded, but that's kind of my position and our position as a community.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin.
If I could, Bill,
Appreciate the input.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk. Long-built homes developed an area just east or west of your development. And it's super, they were terrific to work with. The houses are excellent. We had no problems with that development. And I'm pretty sure that just because of the contractor that's bought that property or almost bought the property, will do the same job that he did right around the corner from where you live now.
He absolutely will. Longbuilt built my first home on Council Oak Estates, and they upheld everything they said they were going to do. I was also involved with the association there as well. And again, listen, we know there's some things that have to be dealt with. I don't think anybody is opposing that or fighting that. As a community, we just want to see it completed. I moved here because I wanted to be an over 55. There's not a lot of them around. I'm sure we'd bring a lot of new people to the town without a lot of additional strains on the town, such as schools and things of that nature. It's an over 55 community. We're not going to add that additional strain, but we are going to bring some additional revenue to the town. So that's all. Again, I don't want to overstate our position, but at the same token, we'd love to see this completed.
Okay, so would we.
Thank you.
Okay, so we continue this. Is there anyone else, Lisa, that's there that wishes to speak?
I'm not sure. Is there anyone else in the audience? No? Okay. I guess we can
Can I ask
move
one
on.
quick question?
Yeah.
Just one quick question, Mr. Chair. I was just curious who the review botanist is for the with the 53G account. I'm assuming that's going to go to a third-party review.
Yes.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, it does the 53G account. I'm sure that's for a third-party reviewer. Does that go out to bid, or is that already determined?
The Conservation Commission selects the botanist who's going to do the flagging.
You mean, no, we don't select the botanist, Bill. You mean the review company is gonna review it, right?
We're gonna select the botanist that does
Yeah.
the flagging. Your consulting, your consultant is going to confirm or
Exactly.
whatever, but we will do the initial flagging with our botanist.
That's
Correct.
good.
Correct.
Yes.
I think the commission will decide on that. Do you need to know tonight? I mean, I think they'd rather
No.
just, yeah.
No, I was just curious, just if I knew it, just for my own curiosity, if I knew their name. That's all. Or so we don't hire that person too. We didn't want to do that. So. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I move that we continue the hearing. Was it next month or? we'll take a
April
longer than
15th.
15th of April.
Okay, motion
Second.
made.
Second.
You said you made the motion.
Okay,
Second.
I made the motion. Jim Souza seconded
What was the motion, Jim?
to continue the hearing
Okay. Till when?
next month.
4:15.
4:15. Okay. All in favor?
Poll,
Charlie,
aye.
Jim Souza,
Aye.
Jim Digits,
Aye.
Jack Crawford home yet?
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Thank you.
16. Thank you very much.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night, Lee.
Okay,
1605 Wheeler Street, a notice of intent to repair a septic system.
Brad Fitzgerald.
Where are you, Brad?
I'm right here, Brad Fitzgerald, SFG Associates, 28 Main Street, Lakeville, Mass. Project engineer.
What was the address?
1605 Wheeler Street.
No, your address.
Oh, I'm sorry. 28 Main Street in
28
Lakeville.
Main and Lakeville.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, Brad, you got the floor.
Okay. do you have the plan or should I try to do it or
Can you do it, please?
let me try? I need the,
Cable needs to give you permission to share your.
Yes.
I'm gonna send it right now. Just 1 second, please. It should hopefully have just popped up on your screen.
you got that?
Got it. It's a little out of focus, but
Okay, that looks good.
good.
Okay, so what we have here, it's an existing 3-bedroom house. Got an asphalt driveway on the side, a garage, couple of sheds, a leaching area right here, this rectangle with a 1,000-gallon septic tank. We're gonna pump and abandon the leaching area, remove the septic tank, put in a 2-compartment, 1,500-gallon septic tank, a monolithic tank, followed by a 1,000-gallon monolithic pump chamber. And we will then pump it up to this leaching area, which is back here on the edge of the woods right near the bottom of the hill. The reason the system is back here, you can see that we've done holes all over the yard. And we could not find enough material, whether it was either less than 4 feet of material or we hit ledge. This was the only place we got a couple of holes that actually worked. The nice part about this location, over 1 lot over from us, there's an intermittent stream that crosses under Whaler Street, comes across down Whaler Street, comes back under the street onto our lot, and then comes across here and goes down easterly to the Segregated River. This location gives us 200 feet from all of these, from the 2 intermittent streams and the Segregated River. So it meets the requirements of Title V for tributaries to surface water supplies. So we
Great.
basically shoehorn this in as best we could. We did propose a filtering basin here in case there's water when they're digging up. And we also are putting in a temporary construction entrance with a riprap entryway to keep dirt off of Wheeler Street. Once the job is finished, all this stone and driveway will be removed. Everything will be loamed and seeded. The erosion control will stay in place until the grass is taken and we apply for the certificate of compliance.
Great.
I think that's everything.
Okay,
Sounds very
Anybody?
complete.
One quick question. What are we using for erosion controls?
I spec'd in the a 12-inch diameter filter mitt to be
Okay.
staked in.
Great, yeah, and I appreciate you adding the temporary construction access. I saw the ledge over there too, so you have just enough room between the house and that ledge, right?
Just enough, yes.
Yeah,
Right. But there's
Yeah.
no room to come any other way either.
yeah, we don't want anyone trying to squeeze in over there.
No. No, not with the size excavator they're gonna need for this job.
Yeah,
Yeah, by the looks of the plan, there's really no other place they can go. The leaching area?
Yeah, it meets all the requirements for setbacks for Title V. So we kind of lucked out that was the right area for soil. That we're able to fit it in and meet all the setbacks.
any questions? Anybody want to comment, anything?
no, well, just, let us, when we issue the orders, just make sure you let us know, when the erosion controls are in and I'll come out and check them out. And, make sure the orders get recorded,
Yes,
please. Yeah.
definitely. Will you send those to the homeowner or to me?
I can send them to you if you'd rather, that's fine.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Okay. No
Yeah.
problem. Assuming the commission's gonna approve it.
Yes, I do not have any questions on this. If there's no one
Okay.
else with a question, I'll make a motion.
Please do.
Okay, make a motion that we issue an order of conditions and close the hearing.
I second.
All in favor?
Jim says, Jim D says aye.
Jim Souza
Aye.
says,
Aye.
Charlie,
Aye.
I say aye. Okay,
All right, thank
Um,
you very much.
all right.
Can we not share the screen anymore, Laura? Thanks.
Can we what?
Okay, it's all set now.
Is Marty ready?
Marty said 8 o'clock, so can we hear, David Beardos, 2396 Pleasant Street now?
Sure.
Can you what?
Can we have David Beardos come in to the meeting now? Okay.
Yeah, that was last on the agenda, but it's moved up now.
Do you need share screen abilities?
No, I don't think we do.
No.
Hmm.
Okay, so a little background. I think you guys might remember this. I mean, it was just last month we talked about it. And last week, actually, I mean, 10 days ago, I'm sorry. And the reason I ended up going out to this site was I got contacted by an officer, a patrolman, saying that there was a dispute between the neighbor and Mr. Beardos about some cutting. And I went out and certainly there was cutting on the bank. So when I saw that, I also, of course, looked at the assessor's card, and then I looked at the house that was out there and said, wow, this house looks a little different now. As it turns out, 2018, the house was constructed after getting zoning board approval. Unfortunately, they didn't come before the commission. So I asked David to come in, and I asked him to hire an engineer. And so far he's been cooperative, and he's here to tell us what he's gonna do.
Yes, you asked me for an as-built on the property. I'm gonna hire Lighthouse surveyors to do an as-built on the addition that I put on my property.
And they're also gonna pick up the existing conditions, including across the street, the bank and all that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the
Yes.
wetland, all right,
Yeah.
great. So I'd like to see, like I said to you on the phone, the edge of the cutting. So basically the edge of the shrubby vegetation, the edge of the marsh and the top of the bank, and then the edge of the lawn. And that structure is removable, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So basically he's gonna file a notice of intent after the fact, and we're gonna try to figure out if he met all the performance standards.
I just had a quick question. That vegetation, sir, do you cut it every year?
I don't know what they are, the tall weedy stuff.
Phragmites,
What is it?
Phragmites.
Yeah, I don't know what they call. That's what they call. Yeah, they got little blossom things on the top. I trim them down and I pick up the debris and whatever other debris and logs are in there. I go through the whole thing.
And personally, I don't have a
wondering.
problem with that. It's an invasive species and it should be cut down. And I went by there today myself. I drove by, stopped and took a look. I didn't see any protected material cut to the ground, but you did trim a lot of material that should have been, that's an alteration technically. But the fragmites, you cut them right to the ground, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah,
Just so the rest of the commission knows this.
thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to be removing any woody debris in there either.
Well,
you know,
here's the
this-
logs.
Invertebrates and things that live under there, just leave that stuff alone.
So leave the logs that roll up on the land from somebody cutting a tree somewhere and all that?
Yeah, trash
Okay.
you can pick up.
Yeah.
And,
Okay,
you know, I personally don't care if you cut the head, seed heads if it's Phragmites, but if it's cattail, you can't.
no, I don't cut
But
any of that.
we don't really want any alteration on the marsh or the bank, so.
Mhm.
But we can talk about that when we see the existing conditions plan.
Okay,
Now, what address is this on Pleasant?
2396,
Pleasant.
2396.
Okay. Okay, so if he's going to submit an NOI, and we'll just wait till it comes in and then act upon it at a later date.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, any more questions? Anybody any questions? I didn't realize you were here, Kevin. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, sir.
Kevin,
Okay. There you are. You should introduce yourself to everybody as soon as you come on, Kevin, so we know you're here.
No, I've been here the whole time.
He's been there.
Well, I know, but I didn't know.
Oh, sorry, sir.
That's okay.
I didn't hear you either, Kevin.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we didn't know you were here. We like your input. It's important. Anyway, you want to continue on with
Yes,
the Board of Selectmen's decision on
last
our
meeting,
appeal, the zoning board's appeal?
we left that hanging last meeting. Pushed it to this meeting to decide, make us this decision.
I just want to make sure one thing, sir. I think David was waiting for, the next meeting, sir,
Our next meeting?
is April 15th.
Yes,
Okay. No, just for the, David, just so he knows the next meeting.
Yes, I got that date.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's gonna
actually,
be-
it's gonna, if you have your NOI in, that's what's gonna determine when you come.
Okay,
So if Lighthouse doesn't have it done by then, but they should probably get it done.
they actually
Shouldn't take
told,
too long.
yeah, they actually told me he was 8 weeks out. Did you get that?
Yeah.
8 weeks out from
well,
from yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
we gotta keep on.
when you get it in, that's when we'll meet again.
Okay,
Okay, so we don't have to really continue anything here because this was more informational on your part.
right, thank you. Yeah.
All right, Charlie.
He's talking. but I can't hear him.
Just for your information, we've got May 20th and June 17th as our next subsequent meetings.
Amazing.
that's correct.
Until I get. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Marty here yet?
I don't know. Let's discuss the zoning board, our appeal on the zoning board situation.
Well, we don't have an appeal anymore, but my last month, we discussed it. And I thought it would be good for us to just abandon it with a vote. And that
Good.
didn't happen.
That's what I want to do, Charlie,
Okay,
right now.
Go ahead, Charlie, make the motion.
I make a motion that we end our appeal officially and notify the selectmen that we ended the appeal.
On
And-
Strawberry Hill.
Yep.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Oh, Jim, are you in favor of that?
Yes, I am.
Charlie, okay, the other Jim. Jim did.
Jim, yes.
Charlie Mello.
Yes. I made the motion. I should be in favor.
Okay. How about Jack Crawford?
Jack Crawford's not here.
Okay,
Well, he's-
and I'm
he's still-
I'm in favor also, so the motion passes unanimous. Time is it, Sylvia? Oh,
That street was the same thing.
Is have we heard from Marty yet?
Well, she asked me 10, 15 minutes ago. If she had 15 minutes and I said yes, so she should be on any minute.
Okay,
I just wanted to remind the commission in the meantime, well, let you guys know that we are on the Board of Selectmen's agenda for Wednesday, March 24th, 6 p.m. If you guys would try to be in attendance at that Board of Selectmen's meeting, that would be great, because
What's the date again?
that's the 24th,
What time?
6 p.m. The link is already up on the Dayton calendar. You can find it there unless you need me to send it to you. I will.
At Zoom?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a Zoom site, right?
I believe still Zoom, right? I think so. They didn't tell me otherwise, so.
They're
Lisa,
doing a
if you
hybrid
get it, why
meeting.
don't you forward it? Since I am semi-illiterate on the computer.
Okay, no problem.
They're doing a hybrid meeting, so they're doing it partially on Zoom and partially at Old Town Hall. I'm not sure if they're allowing that also for public to come in, so I'm not sure if you can physically go in, but it's something if you wanted to reach out to them, if that's easier.
Yeah, and someone just chimed in, Chris, how do you
Chris.
pronounce the last name? Shando, not, he chimed in and said all meetings will be on Zoom, even if they meet in person, just so you guys know.
Okay,
Looks like cable stays in business a little while longer, huh?
Yes.
okay, Lisa, do you want to catch everybody up on the hot street situation?
I can, yes. So I asked Paul Duart for some more photos, and he sent me more photos last week. And he it took them at the angle I asked them for them. You know, basically I wanted to see down gradient of the siltation devices as well. So we haven't had much rain, of course, so, you know, things look pretty stable, but I do think the commission needs to come to a conclusion where that order has expired as to whether we do want them to file for a partial certificate of compliance and then refile maybe an RDA for the remainder of the work. Thinking the retaining wall, you know, needs to be more stable and needs to make sure he has some good landscaping in there so that the site's stabilized. So let me know what you think about that, because I need to be in touch with him and let him know our thoughts on that. I told him, you know, it had expired and he asked me what that meant. And I said, well, I'll let you know, but I don't necessarily think him filing a whole new notice of intent at this point is really the way to go, but I don't know if you guys want to do that, we can. Bill's recusing himself, right, Bill, because he's in a butter. So do we have a quorum if you guys wanted to vote on that now?
We do.
Okay, good.
We have three. You know, for him to he's got his orders already from the first time. And if he were just to follow through and do it quickly, he wouldn't have had all this trouble. You know, I mean, it's his delay. So, you know, to refile is not, I don't think it's going to change anything, but yeah, maybe dangle the carrot with a partial, and then to say, you still have to do this, and this. And then, you know, highlight it for them. So others can give their input.
He seems to be much more cooperative dealing with Lisa than he did with any of us. Maybe that's just an assumption of mine, but that seems to be what's the case. Has he ever given you any grief, Lisa?
No, he hasn't given me a hard time yet. I mean, he might, who knows what he's gonna say when I come and tell him he needs to refile, but that's fine.
Got to refile a notice of intent. He won't be happy with that.
Right.
He already has
Wait a minute, Charlie, are we asking him to file a new notice of intent or something else?
Well, I agree with Lisa. He would be a lot more cooperative if he didn't have to go through that process again. He already has an order of conditions. He knows what it's all about. We've been dealing with him for 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, it's the RDA would cover it. We still have control and oversight, and we can put conditions in it.
Yeah. Exactly. And then it's kind of like starting from scratch with him too, because I think if we can get him to fix that retaining wall, that would be, you know, key in keeping the silt on the site, you know, stabilizing it.
Right now it's open, big boulders and a lot of ways of water to get through. He could plug it, cement it, or do what the hell ever he needs to do. But he could reduce that problem dramatically.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim?
Does anyone else have anything to say?
Any
other than
abutters?
Yeah.
So Lisa, he's still working then, right? He's doing what you're asking him?
The septic's not in. That's what I followed up with. I said, hey, you've got a bunch of dry weather here. Are you almost done? Oh, unfortunately, they're not done with that yet. So they haven't gotten final inspection as far as I know on that.
Do you know what stage they're in? Do they just have not an open hole?
No, not an.
It's already built. The septic's built.
Yeah, I asked him to put down that matting that he said he had, and I guess it's not time yet for that. So I don't think the final grading is in place.
Kevin, what he needs is warm weather. Well, first of all, some loam on whatever he does, warm weather, and a lot of seed and protection for that seed.
I think we got to stress to him, it's got to be this spring. We can't push this out again and again. No. It's got to be now.
But that's the thing I might, you know, without him, if he files a new plan, let's put this into perspective. All these, you know, engineers and surveyors are swamped right now. So if we have them hire somebody to put together a new plan, I feel like that could push it off, right?
Well, the other guy's 8 weeks out, he said.
Yeah.
If he let him do something.
Realistically, is that going to help it?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it's a statement saying we're willing to work with you. You have to work with us.
Yeah, we can just say it's been this many years.
Yeah,
you gotta fix this site now. Now's the time. control any runoff. Tell us exactly what you're gonna do, and then let's work towards a plan.
Yeah,
I know it
Right.
sounds easier than it is, but
so we'll say we want it done this year. We want it complete. We want the landscaping
That
complete.
would be in the RDA statement.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think, all
Yeah.
right, so I think that seems to be the way to go, Lisa.
great.
All right, he's
Okay.
pushed an awful lot, but he pushed more material up towards the front of the house. And it looks like Mount Fall River in his front yard there. Everybody ought to take a ride by and look.
what's the number again on the street?
Hart Street,
What's the number?
56, it's across the street from 563.
In my living room window.
That's my address, Kevin.
Okay, right across the street.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the address if you need. Do you need to know the address?
Well, I'll look for a big pile of dirt.
Yeah, I don't think you can miss it.
The only house under construction on the street.
Yeah.
It's right across the street from Bill's.
Kevin, do you want to meet me over there at some point? Now that you're better?
Yeah, I'll have to either go on the weekends or log off some different times, right? Or ask for a day off or something.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's,
I'm gonna go on the weekend for myself.
Okay.
And then
Well,
one
if you want-
of these days I'll have to work out a schedule with you or something.
Well, if you want, go and then call me when you're out there. We can talk about it, I guess, or something. Yeah. Are we ready for Strawberry Fields then?
Do we have Marty with us?
Yep. Marty's
good.
here.
Yes, let's
I'm
scroll
here.
right back down to Strawberry
hey,
Fields.
there she is.
Hey, Marty, how are you?
How are you?
Good. Got both my vaccinations.
Me
Nice,
too.
nice.
Can't wait for all you young kids to get yours.
I know. Soon, soon. That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get on a list now. You know, I can get on a list for mid-April because I work in Mass. So Mass seems to have their act together when it comes to that. So.
Okay,
Okay, you got the floor, Marty.
Oh, okay. I had thought that the applicant would be, I believe they requested continuance.
He did yesterday, and today he asked to be present.
Okay, so he's in the meeting. Okay.
I haven't seen him or heard from him.
I saw him at the beginning of the meeting, but I don't see him now.
What's
What
the
time is
person's
it?
name? I can look through the participant guide.
Bishner.
I don't see somebody by that name in here right now.
That's the first name. Bishner, then it begins with A.
Yeah, it looks like he might not be in here anymore.
Well,
I mean, it was my understanding that he requested continuance after they received our latest comment letter. And so I told our engineer and our environmental scientist, Laura Kraus, not to attend tonight because I didn't believe there would be that much of an in-depth discussion about the comments. But basically, and I know they asked for a continuance, so I won't go into a lot of detail because they did ask for the continuance. But at this point, the project doesn't meet the stormwater regulations and standards.
It does or doesn't?
Does not. Does
Okay.
not. And we still have a lot of outstanding comments and issues related to performance standards for the resource areas and work adjacent to the buffer zone, which is outstanding resource waters because it's tributary to the Somerset public water supply. So there's so I think that going forward, I think the biggest item that needs to be addressed by the applicant is to get the project so that it complies with stormwater regulations and standards. And what that'll do is that'll really drive the design. And then once that design is more final in compliance with the regulations, then, then Beta will take a look at, the resource areas and, performance standards for BVW and things like that, and the vernal pools out there. But until the stormwater isn't closer, at this point, I
How
don't,
far off is he here, Marty?
well, based on our comments and talking with Gary James, our engineer, they have a lot of work their setbacks are not in compliance with the regulations to the wetlands. There's required setbacks they're not meeting, and then just the design of the basins, the management system itself is not close. So until they can get a design in front of us that is close to meeting standards and regulations in stormwater, it's really, at this point, I wouldn't go forward with any more review. The other thing too, I wanted to mention, and we had recommended this early on, since this is a big project, and the project right now is basically using up all the available upland in that area. And in order to really assess the impacts, we need to know where that limit of work is in relation to the resource areas. So I had recommended early on that they stake out the limit of work. And that is a big undertaking on their part. But I think it's important to stake out the work, some of the work anyways, at least the limit of the work, so that everyone can go out that wants to go out and to get an idea of, the type of work that is immediately adjacent to these resource areas, to see if there's going to be a further impact into the wetland from that work. And also to just see if there's any important wildlife habitat along that limit of work. We know there is already, because the site it's an ecological important site. It's mapped by the state. So we know it's important. But, in order to get more detailed and create a better record, that we recommend that be done. And I think that's something that the commission, if they requested it of the applicant, it's something that it's not unreasonable to request.
Okay, now you have this in your review already. They
Yes.
must
Yes.
do
Read it, Jim?
stake out the limits of work, must do stormwater standards. And the last one was what? Wildlife must review wildlife habitat.
Right. I mean, exactly, because, the wetlands out there in the buffer zone provide important wildlife habitat, and, that needs to be assessed. And so the commission is able to condition work adjacent to, in the buffer zone, if they feel that there's going to be an adverse impact on that wetland's ability to protect wildlife habitat. So if you have work right up adjacent to that wetland boundary, clear cutting there, and there's an adjacent.
Well, that would be their roadway, right? Their roadway that cuts off 2 or 3 vernal pools, and they want to put pipes underneath to let the frogs run under the pipe or whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not just that, it's retaining walls, grading, building.
Roadways, everything.
Roadways, it's not just, it's everywhere. So, this is something that, I had suggested, and I really think that it's, I mean, this site's a particularly tough site to walk around. It's just full of green briars and really dense understory, which that in and of itself is important wildlife habitat, thickets like that. Very, very important to songbirds and things. So I don't know. If you recall during the ORAD, we had them cut the line so that we could get in there to even.
Yes, I recall that.
Yeah, it's so, but anyways.
I don't think it's an unreasonable request. I think for a project this size, I think it's a great idea.
No, I don't think it's unreasonable at all. I think it's necessary.
No, Marty, you already gave us a or paper with review status, right? Have you done any more? I have one here dated October 13th.
We just submitted one yesterday.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because I'd like to see that and go through that,
And I
because I've
emailed
got
the one today.
multiple notes on the last one that you sent.
Jim,
Yes,
I emailed every commission member a copy of her report.
okay. All right, I will go through it then.
Okay, it's long.
Yeah, I
31
know.
pages.
How many?
31.
Yeah. What,
Okay.
you know, the reason it's getting longer, and it's gonna get even longer, is what we provided the response from the applicant under our first set of comments, and then we added another comment under that. So this letter will be getting longer. So what I tried to do is I tried to right up front, just hit the highlights, so that if you wanted to just read a half a page and get and understand the gist of where we were, you could do that. So.
Oh, by the way, Marty. Marty, by the way,
Yes.
they still don't have water yet. What happened?
What happened with?
No, you disappeared off the screen.
Oh, I did?
Oh.
I'm still here.
I was at the water department. They don't have water yet.
The other thing too, and I had forwarded Charlie today, a recent decision that has been handed down. And basically the decision, the ruling is that a notice of intent can't be filed until the ZBA issues a comprehensive permit. Now, I understand, talking to Lisa today, that a comprehensive permit has been issued, but it must have been just recently, relatively recently. But they really jumped the gun on filing the NOI. They shouldn't have. So just a point.
They knew what was coming then?
I don't know. But anyways.
Now, what you call it, ZBA's final decision?
Yeah, that's the comprehensive permit that they issue for a 40B project. It's called the comprehensive permit. So anyways, so we had commented on that in our letter, but Lisa let me know today that the ZBA issued the comprehensive permit.
Charlie, that's correct, right? That's what I read, right? And that's what we were gonna fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Do you want to open this up for any discussion from anyone else, or are we not allowed to do that where they requested the continuance? We can't do it, right?
It would be probably best not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do nothing.
Lisa, I'm gonna have you make me up a copy of that report.
You mean the permit from the zoning board?
No, the
Oh.
report that Veda sent, that Marty sent.
Sure.
I've been blowing through ink, and I'll let the town use their ink.
Yeah, I might print it on 2 sides for you too. If you remind me, I'll try to bring it on Monday at our site visit.
Oh,
The other
okay,
side.
sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, are we done bothering Marty?
I think-
I think so.
Marty,
No,
take the night off.
I'm sorry, I had a meeting prior to this, so I left that meeting during the. Busy. But it's fine. I'm not complaining.
But you didn't have to drive, right? It was just from one screen to the next.
That's right. I stood up between.
Oh, boy.
I actually stood up,
Oh,
stretched.
those greenbacks, Marty. And here I thought you were Irish, but they were greenbacks.
Oh, jeez. I am Irish.
Okay, Bill, I guess we're all set for the meeting, I guess.
Okay.
You just have to
Thank
continue.
you very much, Marty. It's always good to see you.
Okay, so when is the hearing continue to? Yeah,
All right, be safe. We need you around.
Continue to April 15th.
Marty.
April 15th? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you on the 15th.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks,
good night.
Marty. Bye.
Bye, Lisa.
That's it, right, guys? We're all done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Did
on
we
the
miss
agenda,
anything?
wait, Lisa, on the agenda, we have 2117 William Street.
I
Lisa
just,
sent a
I
letter
just-
to the new property owner.
I put that on because I drove by and the tent is out of the wetlands. The wall is repaired. Lisa's letter did a miraculous job of getting action.
It's nice. I'm getting some, that's good. Getting somewhere.
Very good. Okay,
But Hot Street, do we need to vote on that?
on what?
Oh, partial certificate?
We left Hot Street to go to Marty. We never, I would think it needs a vote.
Oh, yeah, Bill has to recuse himself and everyone else can vote on whether we're.
Okay, okay, I'll look for a motion then for someone to make a motion for a partial certificate of compliance to be followed by a demand for an RDA.
Okay, so we have to request that he submits for a partial certificate of compliance.
Correct.
I'm confused a little bit. I'm not going to vote, but I'm confused. Now, when you issue a certificate of compliance, whether it's partial or full, it means that the person has complied with the order of conditions.
Only what's specified.
Bill's got a point there. Got a very good point, actually.
How is he going to apply for a certificate of compliance? He hasn't finished anything. The only thing he finished was when you issued him the enforcement order. He finished that up pretty quick. But I want somebody to explain to me how the certificate of compliance is going to work.
Couldn't you do this, Lisa? Go up, speak to him and say, to get a partial certificate of compliance, you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
And now, just so you can know where we're heading to. Because you could have that and then still, it could start
He's
raining
already
again.
been getting them. He's been getting that the whole time, I think. Every time somebody goes up there, he's told what he's got to do.
All right, well, here's the stickler here. Here's the thorn. He never recorded his orders and they expired. So how valid are they?
So he'd have to file again then,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lisa's plan was to have him file an RDA. And we could issue conditions with the RDA. It wouldn't have the shelf life that a notice of intent has, but it would give us some control over what he's doing.
And a time limit.
Yeah,
I think the time limit is the important part.
Have it done by June 1st, that he can get grass growing in by then and,
It's 3 months, and I doubt he could do it.
you doubt it?
well, I mean, what are we gonna be asking for on the RDA? We're gonna be asking for an as-built, right? In order to get the as-built, he has to hire someone and he has to get someone to draft that, correct?
Well, he already has an engineer for the septic. They have to do
Yeah,
that.
true,
They have to do the as-built regardless. They'll do the
true,
elevations and all that.
yeah,
You can
That's
tell them,
right.
hey, the board met. They're pleased that you're working on this property. They'd like to see you finished by this time, so let's just be done with this.
Me too.
but to be finished, we want him to do certain things there, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Grade, loam, seed,
Actually,
protect.
put concrete in that damned wall he's
Yeah.
got.
yeah, stabilize the wall.
I really have to see this now.
Yeah,
It's a slope, probably 300 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was stripped bare. I mean, the grasses that were there, he dug it all up for his septic system and then he moved stuff around again and again. He dug up his backyard, so stuff was flowing from his backyard to the front yard. And then he moved stuff again in his front yard. And then he had no idea what he was doing. He just kept on ripping it apart and nothing would catch anything.
So now he's got to stabilize it.
Yeah, the
Oh,
problem
yeah.
with the project, Kevin, it's been ongoing. He's a one-man, he's building the house by himself. He has contractors come in and do things that he doesn't have the skill for, but he put up the house, he's done all the exterior, and he runs around the backyard with his tractor. It's just taken a long time. If it had gone on for a year or so, like a normal construction, Bill wouldn't be anywhere near as sad as he is right now. It's just so long and so open and barren.
Lisa, just keep fighting a good fight. Talk to him like you have been. If he's been working with you, let's just encourage him to finish this up now.
Well, I think Bill's got a point though with the certificate of compliance, even a partial one. It
Yeah.
almost did that he's done the right thing. And I really don't think he's ready for that yet, but you still need to file an RDA so he can work. His notice of intent is expired. That's the next best thing. It's the cheapest thing.
yeah,
And
okay. I'll tell, because we want to have some insight on his landscaping and
A lack of it.
yeah,
he really hasn't completed anything, Lisa. It's true.
it's true, yeah, I agree. All right, sounds like a plan.
We're gonna take a vote to make him file an IDA.
So moved.
You took that as a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Jim, you gonna second?
Second.
Now you're gonna poll us. You're the
Jim
acting
says
chair
yes.
at the moment.
What?
You're the acting chair right at the moment.
Oh,
Jim.
yeah. Oh, that's okay. You're right. Okay, you're right. That's why Bill was so quiet.
You're
Okay,
fading
Jim,
out.
you have to make the motion, Jim. Jim Souza?
He seconded.
Second.
No, I couldn't make the motion because I was acting chair. Okay, so Jim made the motion. Charlie, you second it.
I guess.
All in favor? Charlie,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
passed.
Does he have to record that RDA?
No. That's the sad part, Bill. It's
That's
not.
what? It's what, Charlie?
It doesn't need to be recorded, no.
Okay, that's what I got. That's what I wanted to know.
Mr. Chairman, you have somebody in the chat line. It says 1361 Main Street did it move to the next meeting?
1361 Main Street. Oh.
Somebody in the chat, in the meeting, yeah, Chris?
They haven't even submitted a plan. We're waiting for an as-built with a restoration plan for that. So, yeah.
Main Street?
Yeah. They, the house sold and there's money in escrow so they can fix the disturbance.
All right, because he just put it in the chat, so.
Okay.
He's right here, the gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
so it's not, just so you know, like, it's not the type of meeting that has to go to a legal notice, because it's a certificate of compliance issue. So if you want to just email me, I can make sure I email you, the date that I know the meeting's gonna be on, if you know what I mean.
Okay, thanks. I'd appreciate that. Just being across the street and watching the whole thing with Tony and everything else. I'm
Yeah.
curious. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thank you. I think that's it, guys. Maybe we meet in person next time.
Oh, I hope so.
Then I'll be sleeping on my ride home.
Oh. No, you can do it on your phone.
I can still zoom in.
Sure. And the rest of us will meet in person.
Yeah. I probably won't have the vaccine, so.
Well, I just hope all you young people can get vaccinated.
She can, well.
In April, yeah, hopefully.
800 million shots have been ordered.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't like hanging around with you people who haven't been vaccinated.
Well, we're not gonna get you sick. You're gonna get us sick, remember?
Yeah, I know, but I still don't like it. I want you all to be vaccinated.
Are you working for the pharmaceutical company now?
Yeah.
Someone just said something. Chris, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Seneca
No, Chris just texted.
with the pond.
something.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to stop making vaccines and work on the pond on Elm Street for us.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that at the selectmen meeting, they set a limit of 10 people in Old Town Hall for the meetings. And they would do the hybrid where it's on Zoom, but a few people can go and meet in person if they so choose.
Good to know.
Thank you.
That's correct. They have a screen inside the room itself. And then whoever calls in can still be part of the meeting, so it's good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. The Stormwater Committee does that. It's much better than this.
Hopefully by June or July, 80 to 90% of the population will be vaccinated. And then if anyone says wear masks, then you know it's strictly politics. And I told my wife, I says, July 1st, it's coming off no matter what.
Oh, okay, Jim.
Oh, boy, I'll stay away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put him in one end of the room. We'll be safe on the other side.
Still be
So
able to
whoever-
hear him.
So for the commission, don't forget, we have that site visit Monday, but in order to go, you have to email Andrew. And if you don't have the correct link, Charlie sent you the correct link the second time, so.
Yeah, I did already.
I can't understand how that got changed. I copied the link and pasted it. I copied the link off the correspondence that you had with him. But it was a V, no question about it, not a
Weird.
word.
Yeah.
Huh. But now yours didn't get bounced back, right, Jim?
Mine went through with a
Okay.
V, with a Y.
Why? Okay, good.
What do we have to tell them when we email it? That we're clear of COVID?
You have to answer the questions that's in that email.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
didn't see anything.
protocol. Every department, every place has their own protocols. Just to
You
make sure
didn't
you
s-
follow.
What, Jim, what did you tell him in the email then?
I just told him I was going to the meeting on William Street at the Reed Farm.
Nah,
And I,
you have to complete the questions that he
Yeah.
posted. When he
where are
emailed
the questions?
I'll forward it to you.
all of us.
Okay, I'll forward it to all of you.
Yeah, they're gonna ask you if you left the country, if you have symptoms, what the normal question.
Yeah.
He also wants to
I'm
know,
going-
he also wants to know how you voted.
All right.
Just
well,
don't give them your social
If
security
you
number.
voted for Trump last time, you can't go.
I'm doomed.
I hear Sylvia.
Nobody can even come to my door if you did that.
Anyways,
Hey,
well,
Bill, are you flying the US flag?
Absolutely.
You betcha.
too much fun. All right, let's see here.
Past your gate, but.
It's past my bed. Hey, I made a boiled dinner today. You think I ate it yet? No.
You didn't even boil it.
My husband
Corned beef
said-
and cabbage.
My husband got home an hour ago and said, how come it's on low? It's not even boiling. I put the cabbage in it before the meeting at 6:45 and I never turned it up.
Oh, my God. It's dead
So
at the
the meat-
door now.
The meat's
Ah.
cooked, but the potatoes and the
Hey,
cabbage are raw and the
I just
carrots
wanna-
are cooked.
I'm
The
using,
meat's cooked. The meat's
slow down.
cooked.
All right, you guys, slow down a
Yeah.
little bit.
We gotta close the
I'm
meeting.
using Sylvia's phone
Yes,
for
I
this
move that
meeting
we
and
close the
it
hearing.
just hey, stop talking for a minute. My battery on Sylvia's phone is running out right now. So I
Same
need
here.
to, we need to adjourn.
Okay, I move that we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Jim, I.
Hey,
Jim, I.
Aye,
Charlie,
aye.
Kevin. Come on, Kevin, you can vote for that.
I can't vote, so.
Oh, all right.
I just voted.
Okay.
All right. I'll
Very
forward
good.
that email.
All right,
I'm looking for it.
everybody be safe and please